This is the Rugby Muscle Podcast, talking all that you need to become the best rugby player you can be. Now here are the Rugby Muscle coaches, TJ and Alex.
You'll find a woman and you'll find love. And don't forget that there is a someone up above. And be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand.
Yes.
Simple kind of man. Oh, won't you
Yes,
do
boys, yes, boys, yes,
this?
boys. Alex, do you know what that tune was?
Not a clue.
You don't even, it was a cover of Lynyrd Skynyrd, so I thought you, like, because it's kind of old school niche type, I thought you stood a chance of knowing what it was, but obviously you don't.
Well, I wasn't really listening to it, to be honest.
Why not? So if I ask you why I played the tune, you won't know?
Not a clue.
Oh, well, it was Shinedown covering Simple Man, because, why?
I don't know.
Because we're answering a question about a simple way of training. We'll get into it in a minute, but welcome, boys and girls. TJ here, host of the Rugby Muscle Podcast, and I'm joined, as always, by Alex.
How's it going?
Good, mate. Good.
Yes.
We're not even going to delay it. We're just going to go straight into it. You know what time it is.
It's time for the facts of the week.
I want a good,
I was
legit
kind of
fact.
hoping you play the hammer time thing then. Right, a really quick fact of the week. When people exaggerate, the number they most use is 17.
Okay, stop. Why 17? Like, what's the deal? What are they exaggerating to get to 17? Like, because if you're just saying, what's your squat run rep max, no one's going to exaggerate and say 17. So where have you got this fact from? I need sources.
We don't need sources. Internet.
I
These
do know
facts
what
don't
you're
have
saying.
sources. These are just things that are in my head.
Like, if I make up a number, there is a 7 in there a lot. I think people were inclined to pick 7. I don't know why. I read that somewhere else.
Yeah, well, that's the reason.
That's it.
Yep, that's all you got to say. Mate.
Wow, that's an interesting fact.
I think I need some more research for next week's fact, because I'm not sure about that one. Anyway, we are here on the Rugby Muscle Podcast yet again, and this time we're answering another question that was sent to our email, and it was sent by Wayne, and let me just bring it up right now. Good little question, and I think we're going to have some fun answering this, because it's just real simple. It's like, I would love to train like this as well, and I think a lot of boys do. It's like a real good thing for people that don't want to deal with the bullshit of regular gyms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So here we go. Wayne says, first off, thanks for the podcast. It keeps me ticking over with my new ideas on my long drives. You said in the last podcast you could send out the program. Yeah, that's going to be sent out later this week. Probably already being sent out by the time you listen to this. He goes on to say Alex's mic sometimes has his builders and dog being louder than himself. And he finally, after just saying, after berating us for a whole email, he finally gets to the question, and he says, training at home with an Olympic bar and Olympic weights only. What exercise, I'm assuming exercise is, would you recommend? Keep up the great work. Much appreciated by my team and I. Kind regards, Wayne.
Curls.
Number 1, bicep curls. No. Right, so first off, I think if you're just training at home with an Olympic bar and weights, that is a great way of doing things. I am a big fan of garage gyms, and I program for a couple of guys that have garage gyms because it just works out well for them. Like, if you're having, it takes out one step of having to go to a gym and potentially waiting for pieces of equipment and paying whatever it is for the gym membership, that removes all of that for a one-time fee of the equipment, right? You used to have a garage gym, right?
Yep.
And what do you think about it?
I think it's very cost effective. I think you can get everything done that you want to get done, providing you've got the right equipment. The initial outlay is quite high sometimes. Like, you're probably talking $3,000 or so, maybe a little bit more.
I think
but then you make
probably
that
spent
back
less.
in a couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you need to do it as a long-term view. And, like, the other good thing is that you can blast out real loud music and you can invite your mates over. It's not like you have to train on your own in the miserable coldness and silence all the time, right?
Unless you want to.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, true. If you really want to do that, then I guess you can.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to do that? Anyway.
So I wanted to say, are we assuming he's got a squat rack of some kind?
Yes.
Yeah, like squat stands or
I've
power rack
assumed that
or
he
something.
has something that he can have the bar already at a certain height. If you don't, that would be definitely the next investment. We'll discuss in a bit different things that you can add to the gym, maybe a cheapish cost, so that we can like make these workouts a lot more effective.
That's a good idea. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
So exercising, like, this is a basic barbell exercise that we've gone over, like squats, yeah, for sure, rows for sure, deadlifts for sure.
So what I figured we'd do is run through like the 11 primal movements that we would like try and strengthen, and see if we can figure out one or two examples of movements that he can do for all of these. We're assuming that you've got enough weights. Ideally, as well, you would have like even the lighter weights would be bumpers, so that the bar would stay at the same height. It's not essential because I'm assuming you can deadlift more than 60 kilos, but it's something to consider. Have you got anything else? Any other thoughts before we start?
No.
Cool. All right. So first one, lower body pushes, real simple. Squats. Right.
Yeah, I don't mean you argue that.
I think we can do back squats. I think you can do some sort of split squat as well would be advisable. So one day single leg or one day some sort of split squat and one day just a normal barbell, either back squat, front squat, or you can even do a low bar squat. Are you a fan of Zercher
I'd say
squats?
something on this one. If Wayne only has squat stands rather than a rack or something where there's not like a safety aspect involved, he might be better off front squatting if he's going to go for maximal weights.
Because
Like, we don't know how
bar.
he's training.
Yeah.
But if he's going to hit like a 90% plus, then maybe a back squat's not a great idea, because if he misses a rep, he's fucked. Whereas a front squat, you can just bail on it.
Well, you can bail on a back squat. I think that's a good point as well, that people should learn if you want to like lift real heavy, you should learn how to bail out of certain lifts safely. Because
Like
if
on a
you
back
really
squat,
wanna-
don't let the bar roll over your head. That's a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, squats. I would also, as we said, do some sort of single leg work, and you can do just unweighted single leg squats. You'll see those on my. You can stand on a bench, because I'm assuming he's got a bench, and you can stand on that and do single leg squats. Let that one leg hang. I recently just uploaded a video, and people are fans, and I'm not very good at it. Okay.
What? Sorry, what? A fan?
People seem to be fans of the single leg squat.
Oh, yeah, they're okay. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Next, we're going to look at lower body pulls. So the first one, like lower body pushes, are very much knee dominant.
Okay, I'm going to change your categories here.
Now I've got two lower body pulls, by the way, two varieties. So I've got lower body pull from the hip and lower body pull from the knee.
All right, I still want to change it, but we'll go for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want hip one? So your deadlift, single leg deadlift, split stance kind of deals there will be your hip dominant ones.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want knee dominant ones as well?
Go ahead.
Yeah, something like a Nordic curl if you don't have. Like, ideally, we get you on the glute ham raise or something like that, but I don't know. I happen to have a glute ham raise sitting in the garage. But
lower body pulls work like for the hip dominant ones, just all sort of deadlift variations. There's tons there you can do just with a barbell. And then from the knee variations, we're looking at
Nordic curls.
If you say Nordic curls, you can what you can do is load up the bar, have that hold your knees, and then sit on the bench. Or put your knees on the bench. That's one way of doing it. Another way is just having a training partner and they hold your heels, and you go down there. Another way I also think you could do it is like hip thrusts. I know it's not quite like that's hard to categorize all these different movements, but I'd say a hip thrust counts as a knee dominant pull, even though it's a push.
You sound like you have really bad stutter there, mate.
That's all right. I sounded good on mine, and I'm the one doing the recording. Basically, I said do hip thrusts are good. Barbell hip thrusts would be under that category as well.
Can you hear what I'm saying, Tom?
Yep. You're fine to me. Next one we've got is torso flexion and extension. Now probably where we're doing the different... we'll probably differ with this, but we'll see how we go.
Okay, I didn't hear anything you just said for the last 2 minutes, by the way.
Okay, but you can hear me now?
Yep.
So we'll carry on. Torso flexion and extension. Obviously, these are two different movement categories, but we're going to put them into one here for this one, and you can do...
Did we cover bridging, by the way?
Yeah, I said hip thrusts.
Cool, okay.
And then we've got... so for torso flexion extension, we're looking at like plank variations, sit-up variations, and then I'd say some sort of heavy carries. So if you've only got one barbell, you can use the weights to carry them if they're quite convenient.
You can do like a circa carry or an overhead carry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that works.
If you really hate yourself, you can do like a frontal racked on a walk.
And if the weight plates are easy enough themselves to carry, just grab them, and you can also get in a bit of extra grip work with that as well.
Yeah, sure, it's pretty tough though.
Oh, yeah. Well, it depending on what weight you got.
Yeah, that's fair. In terms of other like torso movements, you're just looking at flexion extension. You're looking at lateral flexion extension.
That's the next one. That's the next point.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So
carry on then.
We can go straight to that. So for those, we're looking at windmills. So you can use plates for that, I guess. And then side planks, obviously, will be the starting point. Am I right? Did you say that you've got all of these core movements down on your YouTube?
I have the foundation. So I split all my core movements up into 5 different levels, which is foundation 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I got all the foundational ones up, which are not private.
Cool.
But
so that you can get an idea of each movement.
And anti-lateral flexion ones are pretty challenging.
Collision and combat on the YouTubes. Single arm farmers walks, or even single arm farmers holds, or any sort of uneven carry or hold, is a really good one for the anti-flexion.
I like barbell anti-side flexion kind of holds.
So just a suitcase deadlift hold.
So you're asking what I mean by that?
I'm saying a suitcase deadlift hold. Will that work?
That'd be like an anti-flexion. That's quite an advanced one though.
Yeah, for sure.
You need a mobility to get down to it to do that without having like any forced flexion.
Yeah.
Because really, we're not looking at training like the flexors, like lateral flexors. We're looking at training the opposite side to resist lateral flexion.
Yeah. So you're not training the side that's got the weight on. It's the other side of your core that you're training to stop being pulled. And obviously that works really well for rugby because it stops you getting pulled in all different directions. And then last little torso one, we've got rotational stuff. So Turkish get-ups, if you can just use a plate or the barbell, I guess that would be quite difficult, but see if you can do that.
Well, Turkish get-ups with barbells are tough. That's really tough.
Yeah.
So
I'd say use the
the
plate.
anti-rotation ones, you could almost look at. I've always called them rainbows.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that is? Stick the bar in the corner, like a graphic.
Yeah, half moons. So you put one end of the barbell in the corner of the room, so it's a pivot, and then you're just going to do a half moon or a rainbow, I guess, if that's what you're into, like Alex. And then you're going to create a semicircle as you rotate. I'll upload a video of this to the Insta. So check out the Instagram, tj.strength, and it'll be up there.
When we go into talking about what else he could get to augment this barbell training,
Yeah.
I'll have some stuff which is going to be a lot more effective than that kind of swing.
Yeah, but I guess that's one of the one of the few that he can really do with this, because most of the others you'll need some, like, to twist. It's hard to use gravity as the opposite, what the force going against you. You know what I mean?
You could line a bench
and stuff
on one side, and try like almost have like. So if you imagine this, that you have your feet and butt on the bench on your side, and you torso off the bench,
right?
And then you'd have a plate out in front of you.
Sounds difficult.
Yeah, that would suck. But I can't think of many other ways to get anti-rotation, try and train that way. I'd have to look at my.
But the rest of the stuff, I mean, we've got good recommendations so far, and then we're looking at the different pushing and pulls of the upper body. So vertical push, we're looking at any sort of overhead pressing that you can use. Pretty easy push presses, I'd say. If you really want to express, yep. So again, put that barbell in the corner.
You know what? We're idiots.
Press against
I just pulled up my exercise progression spreadsheet, which I should have done at the start, really. Bird dogs.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's so bird dogs for anti-rotation, and that's pretty much all you need. Those are really good.
Yeah, bird dogs are way harder than people give them credit for. If you do them properly,
for sure,
they kick your ass.
Yeah, and then going back, upper body vertical. Any other upper body vertical pushes, Alex?
Landmine presses. I like a half kneeling press.
Yeah.
You can always just press a plate like a.
Yeah, so that's quite good if you don't have dumbbells and you still want to you don't want to just keep doing barbell press straight overhead. You want to isolate each one. It's a very good one. Putting the barbell in the corner and pressing it.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier on the shoulders themselves.
Yep.
Handstand. And it's less technical than handstand holds. Obviously, push jerks are really good, but landmine jerks are just as good, and they're nowhere near as technical. I think that's enough upper body vertical pushing stuff. Horizontal pushing stuff. Obviously, you've got your bench press, floor press, close grip presses, and push-ups.
Yeah, there's tons of push-up variations. I don't know. It depends what he wants to work on, really, but
yeah. Dips also, if you can figure it out, there's usually a way that you can figure out doing dips at home.
I really hate dips on benches.
Well, this is what I was actually going to say to this. When you do dips, if you're doing dips on benches, if you can have two benches so that you can keep your so you don't force your shoulders to go behind you or your elbows to go right behind you. If you have two benches and you can keep your body vertical the whole time, that's going to be much better. If you put hands on a bench that's behind you, you're going to lean back and you're going to put your shoulder in a real compromising position.
Yeah, I really hate it.
Yeah, cool. And then upper body vertical pulls.
Pull-ups, pull-downs, but you can't do pull-downs because of the kit. I assume that if he's got a rack for his bar, he can put the bar on the rack and use that as a pull-up rack.
Yeah.
And then all the variations leading up to that as well.
Definitely. And then horizontal pulls, we're looking at row variations. So all sorts of barbell rows that you can do, or pendlay rows. Or you can put the bar on the rack and feet on the bench or feet on the floor to begin with, and you can just do inverted rows. And you can they're a really good exercise that people don't use enough for horizontal pulling for back muscle, because you can start, and it's really easy to progress as well, because you can start with the bar like quite high on the rack, and as you get going, you can put it a little bit. As you get stronger, you put that barbell a little bit lower, and then a little bit lower as you get stronger. And then once you've got it to the point where you can't grab the barbell with your arms fully straight and not being lying on the floor, then you put your feet up, and then gradually get your feet up until they're parallel, and then you can start to add weight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at my my YouTubes, I've got a bunch of horizontal row progressions on there.
Yeah.
All the way up to like the elevated weight vest.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna give us 3 minutes, or no, let's go for 3 different things that he could add. One kind of expensive, one medium price, and one low price things that he can add to this. So this is a great setup, and we've already identified, like, you can do all of that stuff that we've just spoken about, just with a barbell and weights and a rack. So I guess
give me the numbers for expensive. What's expensive? What's medium? Like what's?
It's all relative. So just to have one that's the most expensive.
All right. Cool.
So my one, I'm going to cheat and say the expensive thing is just going to be another barbell.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so that you can have one that's more for pressing and it's got the nut in it. And if you can get a real good quality barbell that you can do like Olympic lifting and stuff. So let's say a barbell set, you can do Olympic lifting. It's just a bit more comfortable bar. You can use one of them for like your accessory shit. So have a cheaper bar and a more expensive bar. One that you can use for quality work and one that you can use for like, because if you've got a really expensive bar, you don't want to be using that as and doing pull-ups off of it and stuff.
Yeah, it's fair.
Right.
I like that one. That's a good choice.
Thanks.
That's right, mate.
I literally made it up as I was saying it.
Good prep.
Yeah. What's your expensive one?
Glute hammer raise.
Oh, nice. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're pretty expensive, but they're not as expensive as like a good quality bar. So.
Yeah, and glute ham raises, and I know, like, people, because I've spoken to people that have made, like, have built gyms themselves and stuff for strength and conditioning for rugby clubs and stuff, and I've always recommended glute ham devices, and people don't do it because they want a machine that they can use for more than one movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, with all these machines that you can do more than one movement is, you can do the movements very similar with a barbell, or you can improvise and make those. There's very, like, it's only can you do it with a partner to do a Nordic drop, and even then it's not as good as using a glute ham device. There's nothing that mimics that motion like a glute ham device. So
sprinting.
It's very individual. Or it's very unique, sorry, not individual. Cool. My medium expensive stuff would be a sled of some sort. Some sort?
Okay, yeah.
Alright, well, you
go for a sled, I'll get someone else.
Oh, yeah? Well, yeah, okay. So if you get a sled that, ideally, if you're short on cash, you can get one that you can drag because they're cheaper. But ideally, you would want one that's got the handles so you can push it, but you can also attach a harness and pull it, because they're two completely different movements, pushing and pulling a sled. There is nothing that replaces a sled to getting in quality acceleration and sprint work. Nothing that replicates it. So that is a worthy investment. Go ahead,
Right.
Alex.
Right, because you actually stole my one, I'm going to go for a hex bar.
Oh, nice. Yeah, definitely. Good one.
Yeah. It just means that you can heavy pull with a bit less stress in your spine. It's just a bit of a... Like, I don't think that athletes outside of strength sports really need to use a straight bar.
Yeah.
Like to squat, really, you want to use a safety bar because it saves your shoulders. Like to deadlift, use a hex bar because it puts you in a little bit better position. You know,
Yeah, hex
and when
bar
you're
is
pressing,
decent also because you can do walks with it Like, it's a lot
Yep.
easier to do walks than in the other stuff. A good load walk with a hex bar is great. And you can also do jumps, which works the explosive stuff rather than doing cleans. And it's nowhere near as technical as doing a clean.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like, for your pressing, really, you want to be using some kind of Swiss bar.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
All right. And then the cheap thing, you're going to say grip handles, right? Or some sort of fat grips.
Dumbbell handles, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because then you don't need to buy dumbbells. You can just put your barbell plates on a dumbbell.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And they're like 30 quid as well. Like, you can go and get them today.
And then, so then what I'll say is, yes, I've just thought of it. If you can get like a towing cable and some sort of way of anchoring that cable, you can use all different types of pulling with your plates. So you can hang the towing cable, goes over your bar or your rack, and then you can pull it down, and that'll mimic pull downs on a cable.
That's actually pretty difficult as well. You don't need much weight to do that with.
Yeah, but you know, I think that's a good one. Say one on Tej.
Right on, bud.
Yeah, thanks, mate. So if, you know, even if that's going to be too complicated and involve too much DIY and you haven't got Handy Andy about to help you out, just get some bands.
Yeah, bands are awesome.
They almost made the cut there, but I think bands are a good way of doing any of that core stuff, just adding in some good difficulty on movements. I wouldn't say they're necessary for like the speed and the power stuff, but for core stuff, I don't think you can get anything that quite replicates how good they are. Hello? I think Alex has gone, people. But hopefully that answers your question, Wayne. If you like, so basically, just all you have to do is on a weekly basis.
I'm back now.
Yeah, I got you. On a weekly basis, try and get through each of those movements. Emphasize a couple, whichever you need to work on. If you would like to invest, do so according to what we just said. But you don't really need to. As we've said, you can get a good program out just doing the movements that we've outlined in the podcast. So hopefully you found that beneficial. If you did, please go ahead. And this isn't just Wayne. This is you listening as well, because I know you're not Wayne listening to this, unless this is Wayne. Go ahead, go to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. It helps us out a lot. Alex, say goodbye. He's missed his chance, people. That's it from us this week. Hopefully catch you in the next podcast. See you later, boys.
And be a simple kind of man. Be